I actually planned a different video for this time, but yeah, hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the Zoroark. Actually, we're going to be able to take a look at the Zoroark. I said in the video yesterday that I wasn't able to look at the Zoroark, but it turns out that Zoroark is only banned in the new cup. For whatever reason, it's not banned in the Ultra League. It's also banned in Great League and whatever league we had before. But in the new cup it's banned, but not in Ultra League. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all. But yeah, I woke up with a tweet of someone else saying, oh wow, I can use my Zora in Ultra League. And I was like, it doesn't make sense. Like, it literally doesn't make any sense at all. But it works. I can use my Zoroark in Ultra League now. So we kind of want to take a look at the new Pokemon, of course. It is just weird. I will be able to farm on this Gracia, though I played this first match completely horrible. I think, as far as I can see, I think I could have played this like 10,000 times better. But I tried to catch a move, which then didn't work out, which just happened. So it was the first game of the day where I just woke up. So I'm sorry, I also just woke up to make this video now. Also, if you haven't seen it already, there's a video already today on my YouTube channel about Guzzlord's moveset. It looked really promising. Check that out if you haven't. But otherwise, we can go into the gameplay here where you get wrecked by this Trevenant's Shadow Ball. We might actually still be able to win this if we can farm it all the way down. But, of course, we are a squishy boy. We are very squishy. Zoroark is not really something that can take any kind of hit, but at least we were close there, even though I completely misplayed in the beginning. What you also see on this team is we have a Shadow Force Giratina. Shadow Force Giratina is just something for fun, which I kind of want to use, because this, I mean, you most likely won't be able to use, like, Zoroark anyway in this league, but we can at least fly through some opponents, and honestly, I don't know if in the Ultra League Shadow Force isn't even better. I had so many matchups where Shadow Force literally saved me, where it was super hilarious. So here we were able to now realign our Pokemon. We have 2 Dragon Claws for this Dragonite coming in. We will be able to go for 1 here, and they swap perfectly onto the Drifblim, which is fine for me. As of course, we're going to go into our Zoroark, and we will be able to now basically finish that thing off easily, as we will be able to just take 1 move. If it still does do a lot of damage, but we can now align it perfectly on their own charge move. Let's see if they want to shield, then we can shield, otherwise we can let this move go through. But yeah, they're going to shield this move up. Smart decision by them. I can go for 4 more fast moves, and I will be able to knock out the opponent's Drifblim with my Zoroark here, as this Dark Pulse, no foul play, actually going to destroy that thing. And we see the Dragonite coming in against our Nidoqueen. It's going to still be a very close matchup here. Let's see what we can do here. We can go for 1 Poison Fang. We will get this thing low, and we will be able to nearly farm him down, but it should be enough for Zoroark to finish them off. So this should be a good game here, and we will be able to win this one at least. Actually, like, I had a really different video planned for today, but I have to see when I'm going to put this on. Here we see someone just tanking, I guess, in the Ultra League because they were not as happy with the cups. Understandable. If you just don't care about the battles at all, you can just tank and just go in with like 10 CP Pokemon. You will be able to get a ton of Stardust from that. So it does make a ton of sense to do this. If you don't have the time for it and you've already hit Legend, or you won't be able to hit Legend anyway, just tanking helps you out some time. We see a Cresselia coming in. This allows us now to go ahead and go for 1 Shadow Force, and we just fly right through them, which also allows us now to shield up the next move, and we will be able to go for some Dragon Claws to either pressure the shields there or farm them down afterwards just with my Shadow Claws alone. Dragon Claw comes through, we're gonna get the shield, and now we will be able to just shield up, farm them all the way down, and pressure whatever wants to come in here, which should be fine. Let's see what we can get here in that. We're going to see the opponent coming into their own Giratina, which is nice for us, as we can hit some Dragon Claws here. We might even be able to get a shield from them. Let's see, we can go for another Shadow Claw here, and the Shadow Claw will do enough damage to put them into the red health, but it will not knock them out. We can go into a Zora though, and we will be able to get some farm there, but we sadly see an Escavalier coming in against us, and this Pokemon is a problem for this team, of course, as well. I mean, it's fine against my own Giratina, but here in this scenario, I have to try to get the shield bait correctly here. Let's see if we can do it. We will be able to get the shield bait correctly, but they sadly will not allow me to go for another Earth Power. They're going to go for the Drill Run, and now we have just the Zoroark here, where we can go for 1 foul play, but I actually make a mistake here. I should have went for at least 1 or 2 more fast moves, because I will be able to easily survive the fast move of the opponent, but the charge move is the issue here. The Dragon Claw will do enough damage to knock me out from this range already, and we lose this game. I could have easily won this if I played it a little bit smarter there and stayed in a little bit longer against the Escav, but you don't really usually want to stay in against the counter user with your Dark type. But in this case, I think I kind of misplayed this. In all the games I played with this team, I had so many Talonflame leads. I don't know where they came from all of a sudden. It's not the worst lead either, like I'm not going to complain about it, it's just funny how many Talonflame were around. This is actually a Shundo as well. I usually swap out in this scenario into my Giratina as they are already at the Flame Charge, but sadly this time around they go for one more fast move and actually get to the Ravebird, which you of course shield. But we see a Registeel coming in, and here again is the reason why Shadow Force might be a little bit interesting here. This thing usually would resist all my moves, but like this we can just fly straight through them as we see the Registeel going for a Zap Cannon. We don't get debuffed, which is kinda lucky. But of course, the second one will not be as lucky, as the likelihood of getting debuffed here is pretty high. And we're gonna get the debuff against us here. The Shadow Force is still going to come through here, and this will be able to nearly knock out the opponent as we see a Kofek Regis coming in. We will be able to go into a Zoroark, we will be able to basically survive every move here, which is going to be the Shadow Ball. Still, we are very squishy. Of course, if you had a better IV spread, I would have been a little bit better off as well, but it's a little bit tricky to get a better IV spread there, especially as you need XL Candy for a perfect one for the Ultra League, and this is a known XL version here. We will be able to still go into our Giratina again, going to get this thing pretty low as there's a Dragon Claw coming through, and we will be able to now die at the same time, but we still have our Nidoqueen alive and one more Poison Fang. We'll seal the deal here, we'll be able to knock them out, and we will be able to move on to the next game. Let's see, next game, 6 feet under 6, we will see the opponent with a Swampert lead. I hate Swampert leads with this team, especially as my Sayswap here will be able to take one move, but will then just get farmed down. Isn't this amazing? Zoroark is just such a glass cannon. It's insane, but we will be able now to go into our Giratina, and maybe we can still do something funny with Shadow Force. We have to see. We will be able to shield up the next opponent's move, which is going to be an Earthquake, of course, as we see a Trevenant coming in, which is not ideal whatsoever. We will be able to shield up the next opponent's move as well, which is going to be the Shadow Ball. And we can go ahead and go for one Dragon Claw now. Dragon Claw comes through, we'll be able to get them pretty low, go for another Dragon Claw, let's see if they want to shield it up. Most likely not, no they don't, and let's see what's coming in. The Swampert comes in, and we can just go ahead and go straight for my Dragon Claws here. Let's see what they can do here. We can go for another one here, get the final shield most likely, as they still kind of want to get to one move against my Nidoqueen. I could try to catch a move, but also wouldn't most likely help me too much. Earthquake comes through, and we will be able to now farm them all the way down, but like it doesn't really help us as they can get to another Hydro Cannon. We are already in red health, and we see what's called a Venusaur on the back. This Venusaur will not like my Earth Power, but the Venusaur will still be able to knock me out here. Completely unnecessary to throw the charge move here, but so be it. They just want to be me, I see. They go for the Sludge Bomb there. What a play. What a play. We see an Escavalier in the lead. That's horrible again. Let's see what we can do here. We will be able to go ahead and maybe bait them. I don't know. Let's see. We're gonna go for the shield here, of course, is this drill one would nearly knock us out. After the second one definitely would have knocked us out already with the counter damage, but I think we still will survive this one, just barely. We will be able to go for one Poison Fang, which doesn't get the shield. And of course, couldn't be even worse here. My opponent gets to the move at the same time as I get to my move, and this will be the Earth Power, which knocks them out, but we are 2 shields down, and there is nothing we can do here. Like, what am we supposed to do? We will be able to go into our Zoroark against the Milotic. We will be able to go for another charge move before we're going to go down here. But they have a ton of energy already, and we see the Talonflame coming in now. And there is not a lot that I can do, especially if they don't even throw. I tried to throw an alignment here because they swapped out late, and I wasn't knowing that I would have been able to put it exactly at the same time as they get to their charge move. But it turns out they don't even want to throw that one. That's kind of sad, but they can now go for 2 Brave Birds here, and I have nothing that I can do against it. I would be able to still knock them out with my Nidoqueen, but at this point they still have their Pokemon in the back. They are the Milotic, and I would need an Earth Power for this, if even this would KO, and so I had to farm them down, and it still got to another move. Talonflame is just too overpowered. Next opponent, we are seeing Como. Como is okay for the lead. It's a little bit tricky because I don't really want to get too damaged here either, so I'm going to shield up the Dragon Claw. I will be able to bait the potential Earth Power now, which is nice. Main reason why I also went that high, but they're going to let this move go through, which is fine for me, as I can go for another Poison Fang, and let's see if we can align again, or if they're going to shield this up. They're going to let this move go through, as we see a Talonflame coming in. What I'm going to do now is to catch the move on my Giratina here. I still can keep my shield, and they will be able to now stay actually in here. That's interesting, but now they're going to swap out into their Drapion, and this looks kinda tough for me right now, because of course Drapion will be able to resist my fast move. My charge boost still going to do neutral damage, and I will be able to outspeed them, I think, to another move as well, so I should be able to get to 3 Dragon Claws here, but still going to be not the best matchup whatsoever, as we will see that this Dragon Claw comes through. We will see that this does a ton of damage, but they will not go down now, and they will be able to knock me out, which is not ideal either, as we now have to go into Zoroark. They go into the Talonflame, I swap into my Nidoqueen, I will be able to go for my move here, and they throw their move immediately. This is amazing, because if they farmed me down, I would have been already dead here, basically. There was nothing I could have done, but with this, I will be able to just farm them all the way down with my Zoroark, and they realize this now as well, and they're going to go ahead and surrender here, because they know they had no chance. If they had a move stall on the other Pokemon, they would have been fine, but I don't think they did, so they're going to surrender there as well. We see a Nidoqueen against Nidoqueen lead. It's a little tricky to play those out. I play them like basically all the time differently. It really depends on what I want to do here. This time around, I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Poison Fang here against the incoming Snorlax, which is fine for me, because I can now go ahead and go for an Earth Power. And if they don't want to shield this thing going to be gone, and this thing will be gone now. Goodbye Snorlax. Let's see what comes in. We see the opponent coming back into the Nidoqueen. We should be able to at least get both shields here, hopefully. Let's see, we're going to shield up their move. It's going to be most likely the Earth Power. It will be the Earth Power. And we can now go ahead and go for our own Poison Fang, get the shield, and hopefully just go for the Earth Power immediately now and try to get the shield as well from the opponent. And we do, as we try to swap out into our Giratina, which can take those moves a little bit easier, as they can go for an Earth Power now. It's actually, they're gonna go for a Poison Fang. They mostly, okay, they're gonna go into this Graft now. That's kind of interesting. That's a weird one. That's definitely something that I didn't expect that would happen, but they have a ton of energy now. Basically another Earth Power for my Nidoqueen for later, which is not ideal whatsoever, something that I don't really want to see. But it is maybe fine here, at least, as we will be able to go for some charge moves here. They're gonna go for one Foul Play, will not knock me out. I will be able to go for another Dragon Claw, and this Dragon Claw will do some nice damage against them. Sadly, they will not allow me to go for another one, and they will knock me out before, as we can go ahead and go into our Nidoqueen, as they swap into their own and snipe me here with their move. But if I am able to farm them down with my Zoroark here, I might still be fine. They're gonna go straight for the Poison Fang, which is amazing for me, as I might still be able to farm them all the way down, and I don't. If I had better IVs, I would have been able to win this game again, because I would have been able to survive at least one more fast move, but sadly this is not the case, so we just barely lose this one as well. We see the next opponent having a Trevenant against us. Trevenant is fine, especially if we have like some decent answers in the back. You saw me maybe trying to swap out into my Zoroark on the potential Shadow Ball. Didn't work out here, but I will be able to go for another charge move here. They will be able to also now swap into my Zoroark onto the Shadow Ball, as this will be resisted. Of course, still does a ton of damage, because yeah, we are a very squishy boy. We will be able to get out the Swampert, and we will be able to throw on the alignment here on the CMP tie, which we will always win against basically everything in this meta. So this is fine. They're gonna go for the Hydro Cannon, they will knock me out. But I now have a free space here for my Giratina, and we see a Cresselia coming in. And you know already what we're going to do here. We're going to shield up this move, I think. Yeah, we're going to shield up this one. We will be able to go into our Nidoqueen, and let's see. We're just going with straight Poison Fang. A ton of opponents now swapped from the Grass Knot to the Future Sight for the Cresselia. So let's see what they're going to have here. Do they have Future Sight? They will have Future Sight. But I also have a Future Sight here with my Shadow Force, of course, as Shadow Force will be able to destroy this Cresselia. And not only that, we also still have a Swampert against us, and you know already what we're going to do to finish off this video. We will be able to go for one Shadow Force, and we can say goodbye to this Swampert. Bye-bye, as we will be able to win this game here. And this is going to be it for the video. Just a short showcase now for the new Pokemon. It's actually finally available in a meta here for the Go Battle League. So thanks for watching. See you next one. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.